So I work out 6 days a week. I have a schedule to follow. But what happens when we get sick? Well, this past week, I got annihilated. Did I work out? Yeah, kinda. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you can expect when you train when you're sick. Coming up. What's up guys, this is Trent from XFit. If you're new to this channel, you might want to consider subscribing so you can be notified when all of the new content comes out each week. So let's get started here. I'm going to be honest with you. This past week, I got pretty sick. Now I never ever get sick. I very rarely get sick. But I guess every once in a while, it happens. When I first started my fitness journey, I had a buddy who would exercise with me. And the first time I got sick, and I thought, I shouldn't go to the gym because I don't want to deplete, the defense that I have. And I need to fight this infection, whatever it is. He told me, when you go to the gym and you exercise, you'll sweat it out. You'll sweat out your cold. And I thought, well, what about all the other people in the gym? Wouldn't that be putting them in danger of possibly getting the sickness that I have? And he was like, well, other people do it. So anyway, doing a little bit of research, I found you don't sweat out a cold. It doesn't work like that. There are some interesting things that I found about training when you're sick. There is pros and cons. The rule of thumb here when you're sick is that it is okay to train when you're sick, but really only when it's above the neck. So if you have like a sore throat and itchy eyes or some congestion, like a stuffy nose or something, it's totally okay to exercise. They say that there's a good chance, if you exercise, especially if it's outside, running, or something like that, you'd be able to break up some of the congestion. You wouldn't necessarily prolong any of the symptoms you have. It's not necessarily going to shorten your symptoms either. You're not going to get better by exercising, but you will stay committed to your goals. So if you have a head cold and you choose to go running outside, and you're properly hydrated, there's a good chance that it's going to break up the congestion and you will start to feel better. And then if you hop into a hot shower after you train, more than likely you're going to be feeling back to normal for a few hours after that. Staying inside and not training might be a bad decision too, because the heat can dry up what you have inside of you, causing more inflammation or more congestion. So when it comes to training when you're sick, aerobic workouts are good. Aerobic workouts increase your body's natural virus-fighting cells. The idea here is if you have other symptoms below the neck, like if you have an achy body, or a respiratory infection, or maybe a stomach infection, or a fever, you might be doing more harm to your body. You would be, sticking to your goals, but would you really have a good workout if you fucked up like that and you try to train? So you really have to take it on a case-by-case basis. Are you sick enough to stay home, or are you sick enough, or are you well enough to train? You really can't bullshit yourself. If you're sticking to your goals and you come down with a little bit of a cold, you throw your hands up in the air and you're like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to exercise today because I don't feel well. That's not staying true to your goals. But again, if you're fucking annihilated, you might be doing more damage. So this past week, I was totally fine. Monday came around, I got home and there was a tiny little scratch in my throat, After dinner, I started to feel achy. And then when bedtime came around, I was so messed up. I had cold sweats. You ever have that where you're like, you're lying down and you're covered in all your blankets, but you're shivering your ass off and you're still just like sweating profusely? It was very, very uncomfortable. It was like really, really sick. Like fever, just completely messed up. Did I train the next day? No, I didn't train this. I wanted to, but there was no way I was going to be able to actually function and do my training. Now, personally, I don't go to the gym either. I do all my training at home. So that's something you're going to have to take into consideration as well. Are you going to be infecting other people when you go to the gym and get your snot and your sweat all over the machines? I know that if I were a gym goer and I saw somebody, you know, on like a treadmill or some Smith machine next to me, and they were like coughing like out of control and fucking blowing snot everywhere, I'd be totally grossed out, and I wouldn't want to go to that machine. I wouldn't want to go near that person, and I would be pissed. You know, in a tight space, you know, everyone's working and moving, and I would be totally turned off by that. So this is another reason why you need to take it on a case-by-case basis. Where do you exercise? Do you do it at home or do you do it at a gym? And you got to really, you know, be honest with yourself on how messed up are you? What are your symptoms? And remember the rule about, you know, above the neck or below the neck. So anyway, this past week I took a few days off from training, right? So it was 2 days I took off, then my scheduled rest day was on Friday, so I was able to I didn't have to train for that, so I was like, okay, there's a little bit of relief. But Saturday came around, I wasn't necessarily achy anymore, my fever was gone, but I was totally congested. You could probably hear it in my voice. My voice was totally shot, my throat was shot, it hurt to breathe. I could like breathe out of one nostril, and the other one was like, one nostril was leaking and the other nostril was like stuffed up. It was horrible. But I chose to exercise on Saturday and do my routine because I could, because I was functioning enough to do that. And honestly, I felt better after I did. There's an idea that, you know, if you're sick, are you going to go to the gym and have a good workout? Like, is it really worth it? If you know, really push yourself, you're going to understand that it's going to happen. You're going to be training from your heart, and not training from your mind. I mean, you train from your mind, you might say, I'm too tired, I don't feel like it, this hurts, blah, 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 blah. If you're training from your heart, you're going to stop at nothing to get your goals, to get your results. So that's what I chose to do. I chose to give my routine fucking hell, and I did the best I could. Yeah, I was flopping around, and I was messed up, and I was wheezing, and I was cursing a lot, and yeah, it was a scene, but, you know, I still got it in. I had a fantastic workout, and afterwards, when I was done, the idea that I stuck with it, right, helped me feel better. The idea that I got some of my blood moving and got some motion happening, got some outside weather. You know, I train, you know, at home I train in the garage, I train in the weather, even if it's icy and slushy or if it's beautiful and sunny. So anyway, I got some of that cold weather in me. I trained, and afterwards I felt normal again, you know, for a little while, you know, but then nighttime came, and I started to get, you know, messed up again. Do you ever notice that? Like, when you're sick, you're, like, really screwed up in the morning, and then the day goes by, and you're like, oh, I'm getting better. And then nighttime comes around, and you're totally shot again? Yeah, that was happening. So, anyway, it's really about taking it on a case-by-case basis and being honest with yourself. You gotta be conscious of the people that are gonna be around you, and take those things into consideration. And you gotta ask yourself, is your schedule worth it? Are your goals worth it? Are you invested enough in yourself to make the transformation that you're after? Are you gonna let a little head cold stand in your way? Well, I choose no. But again, if you're fucked up beyond repair, you're gonna do more damage than any good. So don't go. Don't exert your energy. Use your energy to heal. You know, and above all, stay hydrated. Now, this isn't like I don't want to get into the nutrition part of it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do when you feel sick. But I mean, everybody basically understands, right? When you're feeling sick, you got to take care of yourself. You got to rest, okay? You got to take it easy. You got to make sure you're fucking hydrated. You got to drink your water. You got to drink your Gatorade. I never drink Gatorade, but when I'm sick, you know, I was told, you know, all the electrolytes and all the added things that they have, all the sugars that they have in the Gatorade is a perfect way to really get stuff moving, to get your body properly hydrated, to, like I said, break up congestion and help facilitate the healing factor that your body is going to be trying to fight for, okay? Also, you don't want to have loads of vitamin C. That's going to boost your immunity, and zinc is an important one too. Not that many people know this, but it's something that I absolutely swear by. Zinc is very, very important. There's been many products in the past called Zicam was a big one. And it was like the first inkling that you're coming down with something, you take Zicam. They have like one you stick in your nose, they have one you put under your tongue, they have pills, I think, different variations of it. The main ingredient in Zicam, it's just zinc. So, if you feel like you're coming down with something, vitamin C and zinc. You can take a lot of vitamin C. Now, I get the 1,000 milligram ones, and I take 4 or 5 at a clip, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. It's like, thousands of milligrams of vitamin C, and whatever I don't use, it comes out with, you pass it, When it comes to zinc, 50 milligram zinc tablets are what you're going to want to have, and you're going to want to have one at a time, maybe 1 or 2 a day. That's it. And you're going to want to have it with food, because zinc will mess up your stomach. You will have an upset stomach if you don't have any food. So that's my 2 cents on the little things you can do to sort of combat a virus when you're coming through. Now, I did that this past week. I felt like, I might be coming down with something. Remember I told you on Monday, took a couple of handfuls of vitamin C, ate a little bit of zinc. It doesn't matter. I just got totally fucking annihilated. There's no way about getting out of it. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm better enough to make this video, better enough to get my training in, and conveying to you what I have learned and what I have found. So, if you're committed to feeling good and looking good and feeling good about how you look, you're going to take it on a case-by-case basis, and when you have a cold, train anyway. Be honest with yourself, and if it's more than a cold, if it's below the neck, respiratory stuff, fever stuff, stomach stuff, don't. Just take it easy. Thanks for watching.